Alright, so Dream has recently came back and uploaded a new manhunt video. And this manhunt video wasn't anything regular. It was a start of a manhunt series where Dream will increase the number of hunters each video till he finally reaches 6 hunters and uploads the long-awaited 6 hunter manhunt. Everyone is obviously super hyped about these new upcoming series, but it definitely didn't stop people from speculating about the legitimacy of this new manhunt. This was a 1v1 manhunt against George, just like the old times, but many people still pointed out things in the manhunt that seemed staged. Now, I personally don't think this manhunt was staged at all, but the points some people bring up definitely makes this an interesting conversation. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, me personally, after watching the entire manhunt, there were a lot of very intense parts, which are really required for a manhunt to be intense, but some people had questions like this. Dream purposely sitting at half a heart for the first like 10 minutes of the manhunt seemed way too forced. He could have boated to a spruce biome to collect berries for an easy heal, but he just chose to fight George at half a heart for content. Now, this happened at the start of the manhunt. Dream was at half a heart for a very long time, like the first 10 minutes of the manhunt, but I don't think that's him staging anything. When he was at half a heart, he was just speedrunning, getting stuff, and I think this is more of like a preference comment rather than someone just crying about content being staged. But yeah, this comment doesn't really make any sense. Obviously, you can nitpick a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really mean anything is staged. Why did Dream uselessly fight George 2 times at the start, knowing that his spawn point is literally right there? I know he wants to make the manhunt intense, but him purposely sitting at half a heart is kinda lame. Now, I will have to kind of agree with this comment in a way, because when you start watching the manhunt, Dream does fight George multiple times before actually running away. He seems to purposely get low before actually starting the run. He just fights George twice for literally no reason, and then starts running away when he's actually low. You know, I've done many manhunts before, but I do think this was more for content than anything else. I don't think it's them scripting anything. I think it's just Dream wanting to kind of show off that he's way better than George and stuff like that. But, you know, it kind of is a valid point to bring up. This one's actually a funny one. I swear to God, George isn't this bad at Minecraft. Dream had no armor and George still couldn't do anything against him. Dream is visibly still a bit rusty, but the way George gave Dream 0 resistance is a little weird. Now, I kind of have to agree with that point. When you look at George's gameplay, he genuinely is still horrible at Minecraft. Everyone was kind of memeing him that he's pretty bad like years ago, but at this point it's been like nearly 6 years and he still seems like he's lost half the time. It seemed like Dream had no actual resistance when it comes to PvP against George, even without armor. I think that's why Dream has to increase the hunters really rapidly. But here's the last comment that I found. Dream finding the buried treasure chest after the creeper blew up was sus, and he was referring to this moment where Dream just let a creeper blow up and it uncovered the buried treasure chest. And look, you can't really prove anything with this clip whatsoever. It's just Dream being insanely lucky, as he always is. But overall, when you look through the whole manhunt, there obviously were some very interesting / weird parts, but the manhunt itself overall didn't have anything that crazy. So in my opinion, it wasn't really faked at all. Maybe Dream just tried making it a little bit closer for content, but that's about it. Yeah, give me your opinions about this in the comments.